This episode is brought to you by Third Wave Water. So you all know me as Team Wine, duh. But during the day, my allegiances actually lie with Team Coffee. Like many of you probably understand, though, I have a bad habit of spending way too much money on takeout coffee because the coffee I make at home just never tastes as good. So sorry, Em, forget wine and milkshake facts. I have a coffee fact for you that just might blow your mind. So coffee shops spend thousands of dollars to make the perfect water for making coffee. And now for as little as 10 cents per cup, you can duplicate that magic at home. Third Wave Water has a patent-pending formula of minerals that when added to a gallon of distilled water makes coffee brewing magic. Recently, at the U.S. Brewers Cup Championship, which, hello, where can I sign up? Both the first and second place finishers brewed their coffee with Third Wave Water. Check out their website at thirdwavewater.com and use promo code WhyWeDrink for 10% off your order. Enjoy! Hey guys.
Hi.
It's our birthday month.
Our birthday is in 2 days.
And 3.
And 3 for you.
Thanks for ignoring mine.
Mine's sooner. All right, this is our listeners episode number. Why do I even ask?
You look at me like 4.
Is it 4?
Yes.
No, it's 5.
It's 4.
You sure?
No.
Okay. Welcome to our listeners episode where we don't know how to do anything.
Hello, it's before number 10.
That is true. Before we get into the stories, we wanted to thank our Patreon donators. Christine has a handy dandy spreadsheet because there's just so many of you these days. Thank you so much.
It's color coded.
It is color coded. She made sure to even show me which colors I'm allowed to say. She was like, these are the ones you list. These are the ones I list.
I have a problem.
She's keeping us organized.
Hi.
Much better than me. So.
Oh man. Okay, hi everybody.
So let's crack into it.
Let's crack into it.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
We should have a jingle for like, and now your shoutouts.
And then I go, and then you go, let's crack into it. Oh, that would be fun.
Okay.
Let's do it. Ready? Go.
Let's crack into it. Wait, what did I say?
You have to start it with, and now.
Oh. Fuck, I forgot what I was supposed to say. And now for the shoutouts. Let's crack into it.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Professional.
Yeah. It sounded like an adult did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Not me.
I don't know any adults.
Let's start listing names.
All right. Do you have the document open?
No. Oh, should I?
Oh, I thought you were going to read off your document. You want to read off mine?
Well, now I want to feel independent of you.
Okay, fine.
Elevator music. Okay, we're back.
Hi.
I found the spreadsheet.
I lost it, but then I found it again. Okay, so who's on Team Milkshake?
Okay. It's Zach E., Jerry K., Emily M., and Crime Crazy podcast, who are Aaron and Jordan.
Hey, Aaron and Jordan.
And then there seems to be a lot more Team Wine people out there.
My people. We've got Katie W., Zoe, Crystal Nicole, Al Pal,
Hey, girl.
who's my college roommate.
Aww.
She requested that she go by Al Pal, which is what I aggressively called her in college. She's also the one in Tanzania.
Oh, good. She got away from you.
Yep. Sarah B., Heather, Molly, Sassy Chick, Lexus, who wants to shout out her dog, Wilson Wants Belly Rubs, on Instagram.
Aww.
I know Gio's friends with Wilson on Instagram.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Adrienne, we've got the Deviant Women podcast, which sounds right down my alley. And as of today, the Off the Cuffs, a kink and BDSM podcast.
Something I'm learning about right now with the rest of you.
We are branching out.
Wow.
Surprise.
Look at us having an interesting connection.
So into it. So Off the Cuffs is Team Wine. Not going to complain.
No, I don't blame them.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Yeah.
They seem like they talk about some things that require wine.
Okay, so let's go to the $5 shout outs. So we've got Erica.
We have Rebecca H.
Alexander, my brother.
Jennifer M.
Wynema.
We have Coral.
Chelsea A.
Hillbilly Horror Stories, our best buddies.
Hey. Hi, Kentucky. James H.
Louise.
Molly.
Dana.
And Jay.
Hey, girl.
Hey.
All right, now we got our $10. They're the ones that get everything.
They just get all of the merch.
They get the merch and the blooper reel and
God,
Honestly, God bless them, because I don't know why they're willing to put up with as much as we offer them.
They need so much attention.
I know.
It's like, what is wrong with you?
I kind of judged them, to be honest.
What? Okay. So
Okay.
You start.
Maui Jen, whose name means mouthy Jen, from Old German.
Yes, my pal. Casey J.
Miss Johnny Be Good.
Amber U.
My girl, Renata.
Hey. Lisa G., who I believe is in Norway.
One of my best friends, Cece.
Bernhard, who happens to be my father.
Marisol.
Rachel B.
Who's my sister.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, so much love. Melissa M.
Elise, a.k.a. Flighted Chemist.
Oh, my mama bear, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Okay, this is my friend Renee. She said she would donate $5 every time I said the following, and I'm going to bite my tongue and just fucking say it. Renee and Harry Styles, love is real, and thank you, too, for showing us that. Move on. Get away from it.
Wait,
Move on.
if I say it, do we get an additional $5?
Let's just say it 10 times and see what happens.
Okay. Also, thank you to Blaze.
Hi, Blaze. Thank you to Classic Kevin.
Thank you to Ashton S.
We got Jessica, who wants a shout out to her sister, Adrienne, who told her about the podcast.
My high school buddy, Tiana.
We've got Aaron M.
Katie B.
Sarah C.
D.
Grace V.
And Jory Woolette.
Willette.
Jory.
Yeah, Jory.
Jory, hashtag Corey.
Hori.
Okay.
Jory Willette. Kia.
Jeffrey S.
Dobby.
And Lara.
Yay!
Thank you all for donating. I can't believe you pay to listen to us talk.
You guys are my angels.
I need you guys to know, every single one of you in every tier, that Christine will text me at 2 a.m. sometimes being like, can you believe that people actually like us enough to do this? And I agree with her. I don't know why.
I'm usually crying.
I don't know why. Yeah, she gets a little wine drunk, I think.
I get a little cry.
A little wine emotional. But we have had many conversations about how we don't understand why you guys are so nice to us. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're our angels. We love you so much. Anyway, now we've got some stories to tell you.
Also, since we're on the Patreons real quick, I do want to say I hope the $10 donators enjoyed their first real set of merch.
Yes.
I tried very hard. More stuff is coming too eventually in the future. It's just
We're working on it.
we're trying very hard to make this a regular professional thing, and it's very hard when we don't know what we're doing.
My mom scolded me. She was like, you don't know how you're shipping, you don't know how to ship correctly. I was like, well, no, I obviously don't. I mean, thank you for helping me.
Yeah, this is a first time for all of us.
We're trying. A lot of people have been tweeting at us like, why don't you use stamps.com? And I'm like, we're trying, okay?
We're learning all about stamps.com.
Someone tweeted, why don't they sponsor you? I was like, I don't know. Why don't they?
Good question.
Why don't
everyone
they?
reach out to stamps.com right now?
Oh my God. Yeah. Everyone tweet them and be like, hello.
They'll have to notice them.
They need so much help.
And also thank you to everyone who has been posting pictures of themselves with the merch. It has made us so happy.
My mom called me crying about it.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah. She's like, these people care about you. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're so surprised that other people care about me, but okay.
No, but thank you guys so much. Every time we saw every single picture that you guys posted and tagged us in on Twitter and all that, we definitely screenshotted, sent each other pictures, cried about it. It's
so many tears.
It's so nice of you guys to
beautiful.
Be so supportive.
We love you so much.
Anyway, on to your really fucked up stories.
Now let's talk about horrible things.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Why not?
That's the first for you.
I know.
It's the first to go first.
I'm feeling really empowered.
Lucid? Maybe from that 4th glass of wine you just drank.
Yeah, really lucid. I was going to say empowered, but also lucid.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it paranormal or true crime?
It is both.
Oh.
Surprise.
That's a new one.
Hi, ladies. My name is Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hey. I'm from Indiana.
Hi, Indiana.
I'm a little ashamed of how excited I was when I heard of your podcast and found out I shared a name with M. I'm also Team M, as I'm currently only 20 and enjoy me a milkshake, but I see lots of wine in my future wink face.
I appreciate you pretending that you're not drinking alcohol.
Can't wait for you to join me.
Can't wait for you to be able to legally do it.
Welcome.
So you can brag about it and then drink with Christine.
So you can share this with your parents and they won't be like, wait, what? I love the podcast. Listen to it every Sunday morning. Sorry I ruined that yesterday when I didn't submit it until 11:55 p.m.
Perfect.
Sunday. Sorry. So my story involves ghosts and true crime. I live on a farm, which already alarms me.
Love that.
Yep. There's cornfields surrounding our house. Okay.
Well, Indiana.
Great. The house that I live on was one of the first houses built in our community, in our county, in the early 1900s. There are 2 houses on the property. The first was built in 1895 and the second in 1901. Across the property ran 2 roads at the time. Both were very crude dirt roads and have long been replaced and are no longer there. At the corner of these roads, an elderly couple had built a house, and from what I understand, they sometimes offered room and board to travelers, but were farmers by trade. If you followed the road to the west, on what is now my neighbor's property, there was a trading post for travelers and Indians to trade furs and buy goods.
Ooh.
Interesting. In the mid to late 1800s, it is said that the owners of the trading post, we'll call them Joe and Bill.
Let's.
Were having some disagreements about the business. One day, Joe walked into the old couple's house. They were less than a half a mile apart and asked to borrow a shovel. Parentheses. What kind of trading post doesn't have a shovel? Good point.
Okay, fair.
No one ever saw Bill again. Oh, no. It is said that no one really liked Bill and accepted without question Joe's story. That he had gone out of town on a business trip.
I don't believe him.
Nope. It is still unknown if Joe murdered Bill or not. Parentheses. He did.
Okay. Way to make the call.
Okay.
Yeah. Be assertive for the rest of us.
Okay, Emily, thank you. A few years later, a rumor was started that the old man hid all of the couple's money behind a loose stone in the stone fireplace. One night, 3 men who had been lodging there for a few days stabbed the old man to death, hung his wife in the corn crib, and ransacked the house. The couple was found a few days later, and the men were never caught. No one knows if they found the money or if there was even any money to be found.
Oh, my.
These are just a few things that are documented happening on the property. There's also an old cemetery at the neighbor south of our property to add to the creep factor. My grandparents bought the property off a couple in the 40s, and I've lived in the newer house most of my life. The first 18 months of my life, we lived here with my grandparents while my father remodeled the older home. My mother would all the time walk into my room to find me laughing and giggling in my crib, reaching up at nothing.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. My siblings and I were homeschooled, and I would often stay with my grandparents while my parents worked during the day. My grandma had an office lamp sitting on a desk in her dining room. Every time I would walk into the living room from the dining room, that lamp, and only that lamp, would fall every single time, and only when I walked in. In the kitchen, the cabinets would still randomly open, and they still do. To the point my grandma tied all of the cabinets shut with string. They open more frequently when people are fighting or are loud. The way our kitchen is set up is if you're sitting at the head of the table, the refrigerator or freezer is right behind you. Multiple times it has opened and smacked different people in the back of the head.
Ooh. Sounds like a petty fridge.
Yes, it sounds like me as a ghost.
Yeah. Excuse me? Crack.
I don't agree with your commentary. The thing that creeps me out the most goes on upstairs. The house is very old and hard to heat. With that said, we don't use the upstairs anymore, and most of the stuff was cleaned out of it when my grandma died. There's one upstairs window that I see every day when I park my car. I have always, even since I was little, felt like there was a woman watching me from that window. It is never threatening, and you always get more of a welcome home vibe from her. I've never seen her, just felt her, but my roommate had a buddy over who was very sensitive, and without knowing anything about the house, said he saw a woman standing in that window watching them outside.
Oh, cool.
Lights will come on and off randomly by themselves, and, quote, her window will just randomly be opened for days at a time, and the next time you look at it, it'll be shut again. And when I say open, I don't mean cracked. It will be half to 3/4 of the way open.
Yeesh.
It's the only window in the house that does it. My roommate Alan is followed by something else. He constantly feels watched by a man when he's in the house and alone, and catches glimpses of the man standing in the kitchen doorway watching him watch TV in the next room. He also commonly sees him standing on the porch watching Alan work in the barn. When the staring inside the house gets unbearable, Alan will walk outside, and when he turns around, he can see the man watching him through the back door.
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh, no.
I've never experienced this, and the man has never done any harm. I think my family has lived here for so long that whoever this man is, he's just very protective of us and is confused as to why Alan is there.
He's like, nice try, Alan.
He's
You're
like,
out.
Alan! What are you doing, Alan?
Perfect.
The most recent and traumatic event for us took place in the house on December 12th, 2016. Okay. Most of my family and Alan had left to go to my brother's military school graduation. When we returned, we found my father, who was terminally ill with cancer at the time, had a stroke in the dining room. He died 12 days later, Christmas Eve, after we pulled him off life support.
Aww.
Ugh. Though he didn't die in the house, we still feel him all the time. Alan and my dad were close due to sharing lots of interests, and Alan, having a very strained relationship with his own father, was very close to him. Alan swears that when he's up late at night, he can feel my dad sitting in the recliner next to him just like they used to
Aww.
do. My dad chewed tobacco his entire life. Anyone who's been around someone who chews knows the distinct sound when they spit into their spitter.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm alone in the house, I can hear that noise constantly from the chair that my dad used to sit in. It's kind of comforting to know he still comes and hangs out with us sometimes. As I wrap up, I'd like to point out that my mother and her siblings grew up in this house. When I ask my mom if she thinks this house is haunted, she never gives a straight answer. She just says, well, whatever it is has never hurt us, which is pretty much how my mom responds to anything.
Exactly. That's how I always feel in my childhood home.
Well,
it's like, if it wanted to hurt me, it would have by now.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
I would ask my grandparents, but sadly both of them have passed on as well, and I guess it's possible that they are ghosts here too. Sorry this was so long. I love listening to you guys. Keep up the great work, Emily.
Aw, that's a good story.
Emily.
That's very nice.
Wow.
I like when that guy was confused about why the friend was
Alan.
there. Yeah.
God damn it, Alan.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that.
Thanks, Emily.
So this is from Johnny, who is one of our Patreon donators.
Thanks, Johnny.
And it's short but sweet. She says, in October 2016, my mom moved us into her boyfriend's house. He had inherited it from his grandparents. Must be nice.
Oh my God.
My sister and I shared the room that had belonged to his grandparents. Since they had been unable to take their belongings with them when they died, all of the furniture in the room was also his grandparents. Not something I would be happy about.
Must be nice.
No, it must not be the greatest.
Just to use your quote.
That winter, I ended up getting insanely sick with pneumonia. That sucks. For 3 days, I had never left that bed. Parentheses, I'm sure I smelled amazing.
Oh, girl.
Yikes.
You smelled great. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bet you smelled 100%. One night, I woke up to see a man standing right by the side of my bed, leaning over me. He had a cigar in his hand, though he wasn't smoking it. He was wearing a Zoot suit.
Oh, shit. Zoot suit. Riot.
And an old-fashioned felt hat. He also had a pocket watch. He just sat there watching me, probably wondering what the fuck that smell was.
Oh, no.
Perfect. I screamed, naturally.
Oh, sure.
My sister, who was asleep next to me, jumped out of bed and turned on the light. Even with the light on, I could still see the man. Fuck
that. No.
That's not what I want to play with.
No.
I don't remember the days following the night. From what I've heard, my fever was pretty high. To this day, the image of that guy is seared into my brain.
Oh, shit.
A few months later, we were spring cleaning the house. They were hoarders. Okay, nice to know.
Oh, good.
And stumbled across a picture of the boyfriend's grandparents tucked away at the bottom of the closet. And the guy who was watching me was my boyfriend's grandfather.
No.
That's an awesome story.
Oh, shit. It was the guy in the photo?
Short and sweet. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yikes.
He was in a Zoot suit.
You know what? If you're going to die and you have to have like a forever ghost outfit, why not make it a Zoot suit?
I would wear a Zoot suit in my afterlife.
I had a similar experience happen to me when I was little, Johnny, where I found my grandfather sitting on my bed.
Was he in a Zoot suit?
No, he was in a polo.
So grandfatherly.
I know. just hanging out in a polo and khakis. And probably loafers.
Boat shoes.
I know. Fun fact, though, when he died, he only had one leg. They had amputated one of his legs.
Really?
And when I saw him, he had both his legs sitting
for him.
On the bed with me.
I was just to be myself, I was just in a meetup about like your loved ones and spirit guides who've passed, and they tend to come back the way, like in a healthy version of themselves.
Right.
Yeah, and how they would want to be seen.
Well, my grandpa had been seen a million, like nonstop. My grandpa has been seen in my house. And everyone who has seen him has said that he had both legs. My cousin actually spent the night too one time, and in the middle of the night saw him climbing up the stairs.
Wow.
And she didn't even realize at the time that whether or not he had both legs, because she just was seeing dead grandpa climbing up the stairs. And at the end we were like, you know what? He was climbing the stairs. He must have had both legs. So good for him. All right. That's my story from Johnny, which was awesome.
Thanks, Johnny. I have a story from Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather. This is what it says.
This is what happened.
What happened was, You guys made it perfectly clear we should email our stories.
You're sure, right? We did. Thank you for listening to us.
Sorry, Heather. I like how Em's like, yeah, we did. And I'm like, I'm so sorry if we hurt your feelings.
I'm sorry if we were being too strong-willed, but I'm like, and you listened, didn't you?
I'm going to need you when I'm a parent. I'm going to be like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. And you're going to be like, you listen here.
Well, earlier Gio was making a lot of noise and Christine was like, can you please stop that? And I was like, you better shut that shit down.
Right the fuck now.
It just goes to show what kind of parents we'll be.
So we'll be a good match someday. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have 4 ghost stories to tell. These all happened to my mom, and this is her story. Dun dun.
Dun dun.
Parentheses.
Dun.
Parentheses. Like Law and Order. LOL.
Oh, dun dun.
Dun dun.
Gotcha.
Wrong kind of dun dun.
Okay.
Dun dun. And then she sent, this is funny, I remember this. She sent second story. And I was like, huh. So I wrote back like, thank you for your stories. Was there a first story? Because it started at second story, and she goes, yep, I'm dumb, LOL. Here's the missing first story.
Same.
Okay,
gotcha.
Here we go. First story. My mom worked in a nursing home on the graveyard shift when I was little. On her way to work one night, she was running late and speeding. As she came over a hill with a blind spot, she saw a flash of light and slowed down. Good thing, because a car was stalled in the road sideways with its lights off. Sounds like a guardian angel to me.
Oh, yeah.
Second story, an old woman my mom was taking care of on one of her shifts was dying. She suddenly became frantic and began yelling, "Can't you see him? He's sitting on a car in the parking lot. It's the devil. Don't let him take me."
Uh-oh.
She died shortly after.
Yeah, how am I supposed to save you?
Oh, no.
The scariest part of that is if I saw the devil and I was like, Christine, help me. You'd be like, I can't, to be honest.
Bye.
If I knew how to, I would, but we're just going to watch you go now.
What? I know. He's sitting on a car in the parking lot. That's terrifying.
Like, I don't know how to help you at this point.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Third story. An old man who my mom said was very hard to get along with died one night. Right when he died, every door down the corridor slammed shut.
Yeesh.
Fourth and final story. When my mom was a young girl, her uncle died in a car wreck. What was odd is they found him crumpled up in the passenger side floorboard.
What?
I know. Many believe there was foul play, but nothing was ever proven. Shortly after he died, she stayed with her cousin, the daughter of said uncle. So his daughter.
Okay.
That night, my mom woke up to see him standing at the end of the bed staring at them. He walked over to a hook on the wall and took a tie off the hook, then disappeared down the hall. Still gives me goosebumps.
Still has the fashion sense.
Yep.
He got the style bug.
He wanted to bring that tie with him to the other side.
If you could go back for one last thing, what would you get?
Gio.
Okay, that's not fair because I would have already gotten him.
No.
Okay.
Fine.
You can have half of him and I'll have the other half. But I get the one with the face.
My box of wine.
Okay. That's fair.
Well, that's fine. I'll take his tail. I like his tail.
Aw, but I want his face because he's so snuggly. Okay.
So that's Heather's ghost stories. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, Heather, for all 4 stories.
Creepy.
I have one last one. This is from Katie.
Hi, Katie.
She says, "Hi, Christine, who will share with M.
Yeah, you know it.
Thank you for knowing who is really behind the scenes on this." She wrote, "Love you both and the podcast."
Aww.
Thanks. It's amazing on its own, plus a great post-breakup distraction.
Hey.
You're welcome.
Fuck him or her.
Yeah. Fuck whoever they are.
We are clearly better than them.
Yeah, date us.
Date us instead.
She said, also DM'd you before and totally fangirled so hard when you messaged back. That was also Christine.
That makes me fangirl when people say they fangirl. I'm like,
if you guys are fangirling that our show's podcast reaches out to you, what you're fangirling about is Christine reaching out to you.
Oh, man. You guys, I'm blushing.
Aw. Anyway, my sort of odd story I myself don't totally understand. This is something I've only shared with 5 to 6 people in my life. Well, you're about to share it with a lot more people.
Welcome to thousands of people knowing your story.
I've had 3 experiences with this, quote, entity.
Oh, no.
The first time was when I was 14 or 15. My dad was military, and after finally coming out of my shell and making friends, I knew we would move from Florida to New Mexico that summer. I was under stress, and it was late at night when I was in bed staring out my window. I was on the 2nd floor at the time in the suburbs, so it didn't seem weird for me to have the window open. Plus, I really enjoyed seeing the stars and meditating on the day or what have you.
Okay, I'm already nervous.
I was already asleep, but woke up and tried star zoning to fall back asleep.
What's that?
I guess stargazing, but really intensely.
Oh, no.
It had to be after midnight. This wasn't odd since I've always had trouble sleeping, and I never gave it a second thought, but I knew I was awake. I turned toward the other side of my room and there was a man.
Oh.
I'm an only child. My parents were the only other people in the house, and this sure as hell wasn't my dad. Now it was dark in my room, but I saw enough detail to know he was a young, light-skinned man, maybe late teens, early 20s. He had an old school crew cut and light hair. He could have been blonde, but again, it was a dark room. Could only tell. It wasn't dark blonde or dark brown or black. The light from outside my window reflected on his eyeglasses. They were big, stereotypical nerdy glasses. And the part that got my attention was that his hands were reaching toward my neck.
Oh my God! What?
I did the only thing I could think of. I threw my comforter over my head and shook. I didn't move for what felt like 30 minutes and probably much less time than that in reality. I couldn't even cry, just begged my arm to turn on the bedside light. Again, it felt like a while, but I finally grew the courage to turn the light on, still shaking, and when I looked, there was nothing. Once I calmed down, I figured the shadows of the room were just messing with me, and I freaked out, except I remembered those fucking glasses and the reflection in them.
Ew, the glasses are so creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
The nerd glasses.
It was about 5 years later before I experienced him again. I have to say experience because I didn't see him. I was 19, had a kid at 17, with huge tensions with my parents and living with a piece of shit who stole half my PS3 games when she moved out.
Fuck you.
And needless to say, stressed and had trouble even getting out of bed when I didn't have to. One day, while in bed, I had an experience that was very similar and may have been sleep paralysis. I was awake but had a huge pressure on my chest and neck, and I couldn't move for 5 to 10 minutes. It was horrible. I was sure it was him, Mr. Crew Cut. Oh. Mr. Crew Cut, not Mr. Nerd Glasses.
I was about to say, what about the glasses?
All I know for sure was that my ass was out of that bed. Fair. God. My last experience was within that year, and this one I did see him, but I was dreaming. So he's just showing up left and right in a whole lot of different places. He's
like, don't forget about me.
He was trying to choke me again and again. I was in a depressed place, and I didn't want anything except to, I just didn't want to leave my room.
Oh, been there, girl.
Yeah. In the dream, he was after me and trying to choke me. We were in the bedroom I fell asleep in. Nothing weird or changed. Just it felt like a normal dream, just my normal room. I tried to crawl across my bed to get away from him, and he grabbed my legs and yanked me toward him.
Jesus.
Then I woke up, and the part that makes me question the paranormal was how I woke up. I was on the side of the bed, like normal, but twisted a perfect 90-degree with my legs tucked toward my body, toes touching the edge of the mattress. It just seemed not normal. I've had plenty of bad dreams throughout my life, especially as a kid, but I've always woke up with my head toward the pillows. Yikes.
Have you ever woken up on the other side of the bed?
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
I just always assumed I had a wild night of dreaming.
A wild night.
I was like, wow, I must have really gone to crazy town. All right. I have no idea if the dream is just an odd case of sleep paralysis. One friend I told was convinced it was a demon due to the aggression it shows. The rest I've shared was stuck with polite, that's interesting kind of comments. Though he has always been violent, I'm still not sure if I'd say he was evil, mainly because he always comes at points in life where I let depression get the better of me. He sort of comes off as, you better get your ass out or I'll make you. like a weirdly helpful demon.
That's a nice way to, like my dad, but inner demon. Get out of bed.
I haven't seen him since, but I now have no TV in my room and use my bed only for sleeping. Even after the aforementioned breakup, I had 2 mope-in-bed days after work and have been keeping busy until bedtime. Probably why I'm emailing you both so late. Would still love a message back with input. I know M used to do paranormal investigations and has had experiences too. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Again, love you both and please keep the podcast coming.
Aww.
I've had some sleep paralysis, but nothing that was worth mentioning in my life.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of friends who have had some really wild sleep paralysis. That just does not seem fun at all.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That sounds pretty gnarly.
Ugh.
Anyway, that was my last story.
That's a good one.
Thank you guys for sending in your...
Don't I have one more?
Do you?
Oh, maybe not.
I thought we did 2 and 2.
Because didn't I start?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're second. Yeah, okay. So that's it, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, that always feels so fast.
I know, it does.
Thank you guys so much for listening and submitting your stories. We have many more to go through, and we're getting so many every day, and they're so good. We'll take anything from...
anything at all.
Anything at all is really the moral of the story. But also, anything from UFO to...
Stalkers, conspiracy theories, ghosts,
anything.
True crime. kidnapping.
Yeah, we love it all.
Well, we're scared of it all. Well, that's why we talk about it.
Exactly. Thank you.
We drink about it all.
We need more reasons to drink.
Thank you guys. We appreciate everything that you're doing for us. We hope you keep following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you are a Patreon member, you also get to follow us in our super secret, not so secret Facebook group where
super secret.
We can speak to you directly. We can do, send each other pictures.
We do little like polls and stuff.
Bitch about serial killers.
Yeah, we just bitch about them.
Because honestly, they're fucking rude.
Yeah, like it's like fine. Like I get that Ted Bundy is really attractive, but like
Ted Bundy, love him to death, wouldn't change a thing, but he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, like I'm totally with you.
Okay, good.
I mean, like, sure, he's hot, but
did you guys hear Zac Efron is going to play Ted Bundy?
Yes, I'm into it.
I'm into it too.
He's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll do it well. I think he doesn't strike me as someone who's actually really interested in serial killers, though, so I wonder how much research he's going to have to do for it.
Interesting. I do kind of see him, though, as someone who's pretty, like...
Well, he's so charming and good-looking for the most part that, like, of course you wouldn't expect it from him, which is probably why.
But I also do feel like there's, like, a certain depth to him as a person that he might...
Yeah, I think he'll try very hard.
Be knowledgeable about it. Like, I don't think he's a shallow, like...
No, I think he'll try very hard to make the character
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
So anyway, we can all go on a field trip to see Zac Efron. And that's about it over here.
We love you all very much.
And the next listeners episode will be July. So
holy crap.
Please send in your stories to andthat'swhywedrink@gmail.com.
Guys,
and
we're like halfway through 2017 already.
Holy moly. Okay.
Holy moly.
And with that, and that's why we drink?
And that's why we drink?
And that's why we drink.
And that's why we drink. And that's why. That's why we drink.
And that's why we drink.
That's why we drink.
And that's why we drink.
And that's why we drink. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.